Welcome to another JournalNow.com high school football video. I'm Joe Serrera, joined this week once again by Reagan Raiders head coach Josh McGee. Josh, thank you for taking the time to join us.
Yeah, Joe, thanks for having me.
You're coming off of a 22-18 win over previously unbeaten East Forsyth. How important was that win to your program, and what's the week of practice since then been like?
Yeah, it's only the second time we've ever beaten those guys. The first time we've ever won there.
Mm-hmm.
And, you throw that on top of, the previous 2 weeks that we had as a program and the things that we went through. It was a very special night, great football game. And hopefully it just gives us the confidence we need moving forward.
Mm-hmm. What were the biggest keys to that victory for your team? I know you had said going in you wanted to maintain the ball, get some first downs and get off the field.
Yeah, I think everything that we kind of set out to do, we did. Second play of the game, we give up a safety. Obviously, that's not in the game plan.
Mm-hmm.
So we did some things that we wish we could redo. But the main thing is our defense. Our defense played outstanding. And you take a team who's averaging over 50 points a game, and they only scored one touchdown. They returned a kickoff. We gave them the 2 points, and then obviously they made a great play down the sideline. But Coach Burton and our defensive staff had a great game plan. Defensively, we played really, really well at a high level. And offensively, we did exactly what we wanted to do. We had, I think, 3 or 4 drives that were over 5 minutes, So when you put those things together and you take care of the football, didn't have one turnover, you always give yourself a chance.
How important is it to build on that kind of performance with another strong performance against a really tough Glenn team this week?
Yeah, that's what we talked about. Coming off a big win, it can go one of 2 ways. It can propel you to continue to play at a high level, or you can reach a level of complacency, I think, where you feel like you have arrived and you have a slip up. And so obviously when you play a Glenn team, there's no time for a slip up. And, we told our guys Monday at practice, last week is over, new opponent, new focus, and we've had a great 2 days so far.
This week, talked about facing Glenn. Tough opponent is kind of redundant in your conference. Just about everybody's a tough opponent. They won the conference in the spring. What do you see when you watch that Glenn team this season?
Team speed. I think that's the first thing that jumps out at you when you cut the tape on is, guys that can run at every position. Very experienced offensive line. They've got 2 or 3 skilled guys that are as good as anybody in their league. And then defensively, all 11 guys are really special. And, Coach Stevenson's always done a great job. His kids have always played really hard. And, that's one thing we're preaching all week is these guys are defending conference champs. And, they're not going to let anybody just come in and take it from them. So we're going to have to play at a really high level to be successful.
They won that conference championship in the spring, despite your team beating them 31-19. What did you guys do well in that game? And I know different seasons are different, but what did you do well in that game, and what do you think will translate to this one in terms of what you have to do Friday night?
Again, there's so many things to go back to in the spring, and you hate to sound like you're playing this woulda, shoulda, coulda kind of game, but that was our 3rd game of the season and our first conference game. That's who we opened up league play with, and it was the only game within our 5 conference games that we were 100% healthy. So we were healthy. And we, again, not to take anything away from the game that we played, because our kids played well. But, in that game in the 4th quarter, John Gillette broke his collarbone. So for the rest of the year, we lost John Gillette. The next week, we lose Bryson Canty, Samaj Turner.
To fill in for John. Yeah.
Keep going down the list of who we lost in the spring. So, again, we played really well against a really, really good football team. But, we had our guys on the field, and we were 100% healthy for the only game in the league.
Mm-hmm. What do you need to do this time? What's your health like, and what do you need to do?
Yeah, very healthy right now, which is a huge blessing for us. And I think we've got to play our style of football. And our style of football right now is ball control, take care of the football. We always preach, we work a ball security drill 3 out of the 4 days of practice. And so taking care of the football is of the most importance for us. And defensively is getting off the field on third downs. How quickly can we get our ball back to our guys? And we've got to keep winning in the kicking game. I think our kicking game, with the exception of, our kickoff coverage team this past week, has been solid for us. When we're punting the football, we're being very efficient. We're flipping fields. We're playing field position as best we can. Rocco is kicking really, really well, and he's doing awesome for us.
Sounds like you've got the plan for Friday night. We wish you luck in that game against Glenn and the rest of the season. And thank you for taking the time once again.
Yeah, Joe, thanks for having me.